Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Marisa and I'm here on YouTube to talk all things curly hair. And today we're gonna talk summer. Sorry, that was really cringy, but we're gonna talk about summer hair care. Hashtag hot curl summer. It's getting to that time of year where it's warm. I mean, I live in Scotland, so summer here is not that hot. But for me, it's hot right now. It's hot and I have a cold. What's that about? So I apologize for my voice in advance. It's actually been really sunny and warm here. So to give you an idea, in Scotland, sunny and warm is like 20 to 24 degrees. Like 24 degrees to me is boiling hot. That's Celsius, of course. So I know for a lot of you guys, that's going to be like, what? That's just nice medium temperature. For me, that's hot, okay? That's what happens when you've lived in Scotland your whole life. But we're going to talk about summer hair care because you may or may not have been through a summer yet on your healthy curl journey. And if you have, you may have noticed that sometimes what your hair needs in summer is different to what your hair needs in winter. So we're going to talk about the kind of products that can really help. And I'm going to kind of split this video into three areas. First, we're going to talk about the types of stylers that can really help when it's hot weather. We're going to talk about humectants. And we're going to talk about some styles and updos that you can do when you just cannot bear your hair on your neck and you just need it off. See, instantly feel cooler. Sometimes you just can't have your hair down, can you? So a huge big thank you to Curlsmith for sponsoring this video today. They are all about hot curl summer and what are some of the best ways to rock your curls in the summer months. So let's get going. So first of all, when it is cold in the winter, our hair tends to be drier because the cold air can really dry out your hair. In the summer when it's warmer, you maybe don't need quite as much intense moisture as you do in the winter. You might find that you deep condition regularly in the winter, but you may not need to do quite so much in the summer. But what you will need to do in the summer, possibly, is use a slightly harder hold styler. And that's because the harder hold styler is just going to kind of lock in your curls a bit more, especially if it's hot and you're sweating and the air is humid. You know, you might just need that little bit of extra strength. The Curlsmith In Shower Style Fixer is a really good one for that. It is Extreme Hold Level 10. It's a really strong hold styler, and that is going to literally lock your curls in, and they're not going to go all kind of fluffy in the hot weather. My personal favourite, I go on about this all the time, from Curlsmith is the Hydro Style Flexi Jelly. It's a 7 out of 10 hold, but for me I find it's a really good level of hold. I feel like it gives a good strong hold whilst being flexible, so it's not got the like super strong level of the In Shower Style Fixer, but it's still a really good hold, and this one works great on my fine hair. So secondly, apart from levels of hold, the other thing that we're going to talk about is humectants. Now, a humectant is something that we find in lots of types of products. We find them in skincare products, and we find them in hair care products and body care products. And a humectant is not a bad thing. One of the most common humectants is glycerin. So you may have heard of glycerin. You also may have heard of glycerin as in almost like a negative thing, like it must be avoided. That is just not necessarily the case. Humectants like glycerin work by drawing moisture from the air into your hair when it's in a hair product. And of course our hair needs moisture, so that is a great thing. It's a really good thing. The issue comes when there is so much moisture in the air and the humectants in our products draw too much moisture into the hair, and that can cause it to puff up. Now, do you remember Monica in Friends when she goes to Barbados and her hair just goes like that? It's the humidity. Do you remember? I'm sure you do if you've ever seen Friends. And that is basically what happens in the summer when it's humid. That means that there's a lot more moisture and water being held in the air around us. And so if we have those humectants in our hair products, like high up in the ingredients list, they can suck that water into our hair and causes the curls and the individual hairs to get kind of puffed up and lose definition. So, you know, that way when you step outside and you can feel your hair growing like throughout the day. That's why sometimes glycerin gets a bad rap, but it's actually an excellent ingredient for keeping our hair moisturized. But sometimes it can be the case that when it's really humid out, we might not want to add as much glycerin into our hair care routine. So with that in mind, again, these two gels both have glycerin, but they have them quite low down on the ingredients list. So that means that there's less of that humectant in the product, which means that it's less likely to draw moisture from the air into your hair and cause it to lose definition. So low glycerin styling products can really help if you find that humidity gives you that issue in the summer. The same when we're talking about leave-ins. So this Weightless Air Dry Cream is a leave-in conditioner and I just love it. It's so lightweight. My hair absolutely adores it. And again, it has glycerin, but it's way down the ingredients list, like right at the bottom. It's second from last in the ingredients list. So that is going to be great for summer months to not pull too much moisture into your hair. And the same thing with the Featherlight Protein Cream. That is another one with glycerin way down, like on the last line of ingredients. And this is just a great styling cream. So if you're not really into a gel for that hard hold, then this would be a great option. And one more thing about summer hair care, sometimes you just want kind of a really quick and simple routine so that your hair's just going to dry fast because you're running about, you're busy, you're outside, you may be in the pool, you may be at the beach, you're not wanting to spend hours like doing your hair and diffusing your hair. And if that's the case, then a foam can be a fantastic option for your hair to dry quickly. And the Bouncy Strength Volume Foam, it's just a lovely light hold volumizing foam, and your hair's going to dry super fast if you're just using a foam like this one. And so thirdly, I said that we would talk about some updos when you just really want your hair off your neck. So first of all, you may have seen it on Instagram. I already posted a reel of this hairstyle and I absolutely love this hairstyle. I think it is really fun and a little bit different, and it does involve Dutch braiding, which is basically the same as a French braid, but you do it backwards. So instead of taking the hair over the top when you do the braid, over the top of the other sections, you go underneath the sections. So I'm going to show it in this video just now. So it's a Dutch braid with your head upside down. So it might take a little bit of practice, but once you have it, the rest of the updo is super easy. Okay, so I start off by just sectioning off the top half from just above my ears, and I just tie that up out the way. And now the next thing I'm going to do is flip upside down, because we're going to do a braid going from the nape of your neck all the way up to the top using that hair that's left down. So I'm going to zoom in a bit so you can hopefully see, and I'm going to slow this down so you can see how I'm doing this Dutch braid, because it's very difficult for me to use words to describe what I'm doing. So hopefully you can see that I'm taking the sections underneath and then adding from the sides as you would with a normal French braid. And just continue doing this with all the hair that is loose. Obviously you've already tied up the top section, so just do this all the way down, and then just finish it off in a regular braid. And you're just going to tie that braid off and then start pulling at the sections there. Pulling at these sections is really important because it makes the braid look nice and loose and chunky and just prettier than if it was tight. So now flipped back upright and let that top hair down, and I'm using a bit of that Bouncy Strength Volume Foam just to kind of add a little bit of volume and grit to this hair, which is just going to help it to have a bit more texture when it's up and help it to stay up as well. Give it a little bit of hold, and then I'm pulling all that hair up into a ponytail on top of my head, and I'm adding in the braid, taking out the band, because now we'll use a regular Invisibobble or any kind of hair tie to tie that all together. And fluff out the hair in the ponytail, and I'm going to loosen down my baby hairs and just loosen the hair all the way around as well. Just do this until you're happy with it, and then I'm going to start pinning the hair from that ponytail just very randomly. Just take sections and use hair grips, bobby pins, curby grips, just to kind of roughly pin it in. It doesn't want to be a neat and tidy bun. And I'm using a little bit of the Hydra Style Flexi Jelly just to smooth down my baby hairs and to tame those little curls that I've taken out. And that is pretty much it. Adding my favourite earrings, and we're done. I just think it's a really pretty kind of loose, easy looking style, which is perfect for summer. So that's a little bit of a fancier updo that you might want to practice for your very own hot curl summer. Of course, if you don't feel like spending the time doing something like that, then you can just do a good old ponytail right on the top of your head. because I mean, it can't be any simpler than that, can it? I've got a nice satin scrunchie and that is it. And I actually just think it looks super cute when you've got curly hair and it's all piled on top of your head like that. You cannot go wrong, can you? With a nice summer top or summer dress and some nice earrings, you are sorted and ready for your hot curl summer. And lastly, the most important thing is that you enjoy your summer. And if you are going to be in and out of the swimming pool or the beach, and you know your hair takes a back seat for a little while, that is okay. If you're using high quality products with great ingredients that are going to nourish your hair, like the Curlsmith ones, then you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to style your hair all the time. You can tie it up, you can just, you know, leave a leave-in and just leave it to do its thing. It's okay. Enjoy the summer. So I hope that that video was useful. If you have any questions about any of the things we talked about today, leave them in the comments. I will respond to every single comment. I always do. And I really, really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a little thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. And I will see you soon. Bye.